In the 2024 Army-Navy game, the Navy claimed a decisive 31-13 victory over the Army at Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland, securing their first Commander-in-Chief's trophy since 2019. Navy quarterback Blake Horvath was the game's star, putting on a dominant performance with 204 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on 25 carries, alongside 107 passing yards and 2 more touchdowns. His performance was a significant factor in the midshipmen's win over the Black Knights, ranked number 18 in the USLBM coaches poll. The Navy's solid defensive showing complemented Horvath's contribution. The Navy shut down the Army's offense, led by quarterback Bryson Daily. Daily, who had been exceptional all season, was intercepted 3 times, including 2 crucial picks in the second half. His struggles were key in the Navy's victory, as the Army was held to just 178 total yards and 3.2 yards per play. The game's narrative was particularly compelling, given the contrasting seasons of the two teams. Army entered the game with an 11-1 record and fresh off a dominant 35-14 win over Tulane in the American Athletic Conference Championship. The Black Knights had been riding high, but Navy, with an 8-3 record, had struggled in recent weeks, losing 3 of their last 5 games. Despite these challenges, the Navy rose to the occasion in their biggest game of the season, proving their resilience and skill. The game's outcome was a break from the close contests that have defined this historic rivalry in recent years. 8 of the past 10 Army-Navy games have been decided by a single score, including last year's 17-11 Army victory. Navy's 18-point win marked a significant shift and ended Army's 6-game winning streak in the series. The Black Knights had won 6 of the last 8 meetings after Navy's 14-game win streak was snapped in 2016. The first half of the game was relatively close. Navy struck first, with Horvath leading a 12-play, 64-yard drive that consumed over 6 minutes of the clock and was capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run. Army responded with a touchdown, with Daly connecting on a 23-yard jump pass to Hayden Reed to cut Navy's lead to 14-7. However, the second half was where the game unraveled for the Army. The Navy opened the second half with a touchdown, as Horvath found Eli Heidenreich for a 52-yard touchdown pass, extending the lead to 21-10. The Army had a brief moment of hope when they converted a 31-yard field goal to make it 21-13, but the Navy quickly responded with another touchdown after a gutsy fake punt play that set Horvath for his second rushing touchdown, pushing the lead to 28-13. The final blow came when Daly threw his 3rd interception of the game, with Luke Perry's picking him off at the Army 37-yard line, essentially sealing the victory for Navy. A few plays later, Navy's kicker Lance Gossett booted a 27-yard field goal to make it 31-13, with just over 3 minutes remaining, officially ending Army's chances of a comeback. While the Army's offense struggled throughout the game, the Navy's well-timed trick plays and solid defense played a huge role in their win. A standout moment was nose guard Landon Robinson's 29-yard run on a fake punt, which kept the chains moving and set up the Navy for another scoring opportunity. The Army's defensive efforts were overshadowed by the constant pressure from the Navy's offense, which efficiently moved the ball down the field and capitalized on the Army's mistakes. The significance of this win extends beyond the game itself. For Navy, it's a redemption moment after struggling in the second half of the season. In his second season as head coach, Coach Brian Newberry demonstrated his ability to rally his team in a high-pressure situation. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy, awarded annually to the winner of the Army-Navy game, now belongs to the Navy for the first time in 5 years, and it gives the midshipmen a strong platform to build on for the future. The loss will sting the Army, especially after a promise-filled season. Coach Jeff Monken's squad had been in the mix for a potential playoff berth, and had built momentum with their strong performance in the AAC Championship. However, the turnovers and missed opportunities against the Navy were costly, and the Black Knights must regroup for their postseason bowl game. Overall, the 2024 Army-Navy game was a testament to the history and tradition of college football rivalries. Despite both teams being from military academies, the level of play and the stakes were as high as any other game in the country. The Navy's victory capped off a memorable regular season and marked a turning point in their program, while the Army's loss will remind them that anything can happen in this classic matchup. With both teams continuing to develop and recruit top talent, future Army-Navy games will keep fans on the edge of their seats for years to come. As the game concluded, the Navy players celebrated their hard-fought win, knowing they had achieved something remarkable. It was a bitter pill for the Army, but they'll use this setback to fuel future challenges. With the Commander-in-Chief's trophy now secured, the Navy can look ahead to the next chapter of their football program, knowing they've brought home one of college football's most prestigious trophies.